The last part, when you control a man's thinking, you don't have to control their actions. Carter G. Woodson said that in a book called The Miseducation of the Negro. You understand what I'm saying? When you control a man's thinking, you don't have to control a man's action. You could tell a person, oh, go do this, go do that, go down to yonder. But if his mind is already programmed, he gonna do what he's programmed to do.
What gives Zeke life when you've seen so much death? Hey, listen, I'm coming. I'm coming right now. Come on in, Truly honored and blessed to spend and invest time with these guests. But most importantly, spend time and invest time with you too. If you don't know who I am, I'm Rob De La Rosa, the bald-headed Dominican from the Bronx. And all you gotta do to help me, help you, is like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to another episode of In the Living Room podcast, where we learn, laugh, and heal. And look, if you're listening to this on audio, if you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, stop playing and pay attention, because I got someone special in the building. You know, there's people you come across in your life, in your path, that the day you meet them, you knew they weren't the average person, right? You're either going to be inspired in some way, you're gonna be moved another way. You're gonna be educated off of his presence alone. A man that, you know, when you think about people that can do so much or have done so much in the short time that they lived on this earth, to me, when I think of Zeke, I think of an octopus, bro. It looks good on him. All these arms, all these things he can do, and where you come from to be an author, a father, a manager, and like, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ezekiel Phillips in the building.
What's going on, man? I'm in the living room, you know? And it feels good to be here. Thanks for having me, baby. Rob, my main man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, man, so do us a favor. If you get past the first 5 minutes of this episode, subscribe to the channel, share it. You know, this is one of those. I just feel it before we even start. If it's in you because you learned about something, you laughed about something, it helped you heal on something, share this to someone that needs to hear it. It's only right. I was doing it before I was doing the show.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So Zeke, you know, the question that the audience wants to know, who is Zeke?
Man, I'm just a vessel, you know? I'm really just a pawn in his game, on his chessboard, you know? I'm just a pawn, just ready to be used.
Word on, look, and this is what I mean to play on words. This guy's a great chess player as well.
Come on,
and because we talking about you being a vessel, you just a player on the chessboard. When did chess? That's one thing I want to know, because your level of intellect. When did that start for you? How did you get introduced to the game of chess? What has that done for you? And then give us, of course, your background, things of that nature.
Yeah, when it was first introduced to me, I really didn't like the game. Maybe at a time or the space that I was in, but my father, he was fresh out the pen, you know, and he was trying to instill a lot of things at me, you know, so fast. You know, now that I think back on it, it was some good stuff, but I just wanted to chill with you. I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, feel your beard, you know what I'm saying? So he was trying to, you know, force that upon me, the chessboard, but I really started like really playing it in like the 5th grade. I can remember, you know, in chess tournaments, 6th grade at Audubon Middle School in Los Angeles. You know, I mean, everybody in the homeroom and listening over the speaker. First place winner, Ezekiel Phillips.
How many times you
So, you know.
So it started, this overachieving stuff started early. You said you won awards like first place, 5th grade?
Yeah,
it's been an identity.
It was that, you know what I'm saying, the acting and getting involved into like stage plays and, you know, in theater. You know, I fell in love with that. You at a young age. But yeah, I think that's kind of where it started.
So damn, that's crazy because he said it real like theater, and then you go through so many things in your life, Zeke, right? So here's what I think I'm seeing like a person right now that comes from or who is in LA, right? And kind of has a challenging beginning because you even saying your father coming out the pen, and for those who don't understand what we mean by that, in layman's terms, you're on the wrong podcast if you don't know what the pen is.
Penitentiary.
Just that relationship alone, starting from there, that kind of upbringing, can you kind of like walk me through how you were still able to play chess and end up in film school and start all of the theaters and stuff like that? How was that still something you was able to do with
Yeah. I mean, I got to give it up to my moms. You know what I'm saying? Love you, mama. You know what I'm saying? She, Tupac talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We talk about dear mama, always a black queen mama. You know what I'm saying? When I look back, I'm like, dang, you really held it down. I'm the baby of 4. I got 2 brothers and 1 sister. I'm the baby. And my dad in the pen, I'm seeing her working 9 to 5 and all that, and she was keeping me involved at the YMCA. You know how some people got that story, I came from nothing and all that. Like, I had a cool upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, YMCA, baseball at Rancho Cienega Park and all of that. But like, it was that, being on stage and becoming a different character and being able to hold the audience attention, whether it be Christmas plays, she kept me involved. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like the transition happened, like a lot of auditions, like auditioning for commercials and Juicy Fruit commercial, McDonald's and stuff like that. At a young age, she would have to take me to the Valley for the auditions, but she would have to be at work. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of like, I was in this acting class called Faith Acting Studios up the street, and it was like the best time of my life. But I remember, the auditions will be way in the Valley, like maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour if it was traffic, and she had to be at work. So I wasn't making some of the auditions. And so being at home now, I'm looking out in the streets. As a young boy, you want to play. You got energy. What them girls doing outside. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of like transitioned from that. And it ain't her fault. She did the best that she can do. Like to this day, I just be telling her like, thank you. I appreciate you. When I was a little knucklehead going in and out of juvenile hall, that wasn't your fault. You did your thing.
Look, let's slow down right there because one, I love your attitude, personality, and how you say things, right? Catch that. It's going to be the flyest talk y'all hear on one of the episodes ever. It's a lot of, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me.
But Zeke, this is my question. How does a kid like you, with all that talent and that grace that you see that you give your mom, because you had a great upbringing, end up in juvenile? Because you said that, when it's not your fault when I end up in a juvenile center. And even just that sentence alone you said it so quick, but it was so loud to me.
Yeah.
Because how does that happen?
Yeah. Well, first off, like I said it like that because when I spoke to my mother, I wasn't just talking to her. It'd be a lot of mothers out there. They be hitting me in my DM or hitting me like, I got a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14. I need you to talk to him and this and that. And I'm like, look, you doing a good job. Like they start beating themselves up. I'm like, you doing all you can do.
That's some good perspective.
You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm talking to my mom, I'm talking to all the mamas out there. You feel me? And how that happened is easy. I figured it out. Like, my hypothesis like worked itself out. God made man and woman.
Okay.
A mother and a father.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And made my father, so rest in peace, but, he was in and out of prison. But she held it down the best way she could, just like a lot of mothers. You know what I'm saying? We got some fathers on the other end, too, holding it down, too. Salute to the pops out there.
Salute to the great
parents.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. But, it takes two, to raise a family sometimes. And if somebody's not there playing a position, it takes the village sometimes to step up and play their position. So I just think that, like they say, idle time is the devil's playground. when you out of school and I'm at home and she at work and I'm bored, I want to go outside, I want to meet people and this and that and do things and just get into things that, you know, young boys get into. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's how that happened. But I believe that for sure, if the father is in that home, you know what I'm saying, at all time, or, you know, clearly he may got to go out for business or whatever, but if he's there, you know, it's going to be a little bit better structure. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how pops can be in the room and they ain't even got to say nothing. You just look at him and it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
and
real.
Moms, you know, they may want to share and say it
might
again.
wiggle it a little.
Yeah, she may, all right. But pops,
Not.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's
that
real.
presence alone, I
That's
feel
real.
like, you know, it ain't his fault again, but, you know, I feel like that's what happened.
So here's a question for me, bro. You know, from my standpoint, I had a great upbringing as well.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm from the Bronx, New York. And this is that, just pay attention. This is the East Coast meets the West Coast. West Coast comes to the East Coast. My man is a Renaissance man for real.
Hey, I just want to share how I got here.
Can you-
You know how I got here.
Talk to me.
I just had a quick little call like, hey, we need you in New York. Some quick little business, whatever. We're going to have fun. And I got a ticket like 7 hours, 8 hours before my flight. You know, I'm calling all my peoples I know from New York. Yo, what's up?
It's good.
I flew into Jersey.
Oh, yes, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And then took a bus. You know, ain't nothing. We gonna go bus, plane,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I took a bus up to New York, Times Square, Manhattan, check in the room, hit up to Harlem, Red Rooster. Shout out to Red Roosters if you ever up in Harlem. And that food is good. Goo goo gaga. And then from there, I went to sleep this morning. I went back to Times Square, had a meeting. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about that, but God is good.
Yes, he
And
is.
then got on the train, and all this is the train. Because you got to remember, in LA, we don't be taking no trains. Our train system ain't even, we just now trying to get on
Right,
y'all level.
right,
You feel me?
right.
But I'm like, last night I woke up, I'm like, I'm a little sore. I'm like, I done took 15,000 steps. You know what I'm saying? Huh? We're gonna learn, we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna heal while we in the living room. You know what I'm saying? So then I took the train. So I'm like, okay, I'm in Brooklyn right now. Today I went to Brooklyn with this nonprofit organization.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
So righteous men do things for the people that love and they
That
don't call them
part.
support. We don't call them fans. You understand?
Yeah, I met with an organization, a brother over there. Met with him. He runs an organization in Brooklyn called I Will Graduate, and that was fire. You know what I'm saying? Quick meet. And then I got back on the train. I hit you like I'm on my way. Where you at? You in Queens? You say you in the Bronx. So I'm coming to the Bronx. I look at the GPS on the transit. It say an hour and 20 minutes. We on our way. Subway. Everybody squishing, pushing. Hey, get over here. You're on me. Ugh. I'm like, dang, if this was in LA, they would be squabbing right there. Squabbing, for those that don't know, they'll be fighting. Like, so it was just a whole different culture. Then I got people on my phone talking about, hey, you better watch it. You going to the Bronx, it ain't safe. I said, the earth is my turf. And if I believe in God, I'm good.
The lesson and the message, you understand?
You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. But I wanted to talk about that, how I got here.
And then wait.
Yeah.
And then he took the wrong train. So
Talk about it.
my man told me he was 6 stops away. I'm like, oh, we good, baby. He right here. Call the phone. I'm like, wait, Bedford, you on the other side.
I'm on the other side. I ain't gonna lie. It's on the 5.
Yo, but the energy and still the enthusiasm behind, like, oh, word, that's cool. I'll take the bus. Nah, Zeke, I got you. You gonna take this Uber, you feel
Yeah.
me? Because you my man and all
Yeah.
that. But it's just you being a kid in this world. The world really being your backyard.
Yeah.
It's 2 things that like you just foreshadowed when you spoke right now. First and foremost, that nonprofit,
Yeah.
I Will Graduate.
Yeah.
Just said how you went from being a kid that was exposed to all this great stuff. And I kind of still want to hit on like, here's my question. When the juvenile center, I'm not sure what you did, right?
Okay.
But there was anything in your moral like compass that kind of felt you shifting to do things that maybe weren't gonna lead you in the best direction. So I asked that because I come from the Bronx and things happen. You leave someplace, it's defense, or I just never been involved in that kind of environment. And I'm saying anybody who has family in a juvenile or came home from something to like similar or has this kind of background, it's, you guys are great people. This is a fucking great guy.
Appreciate
a fucking incredible human being. Like, see the way he speaks about his parents. He's a father. See about he talking about going to a nonprofit. This is a graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like
Morehouse College.
You already know where it's at.
Shout out.
Right? So when I say the octopus, I want to get there. I want to live that kind of story. So when that happened, how did you feel? And at any given point in that system, did you feel like you were going to live the life that you live today?
First and foremost, I remember it was like a light bulb that came on. It was like bing, you know what I'm saying? But before that light bulb came on, I was just living, doing things, right? And I remember being in a camp program, and it was structured. It was like boot camp. They had us up 5 a.m. I think the camp was called Mendenhall. They had Camp Munns and then Camp Mendenhall right next door. So we had to get up. First platoon fall in quickly, right. Like it was like real military in the morning. You working out, you eating good. It was structure. And it would go back to that structure. I'm like, dang, if my father was here, he would have had me on that. You know what I'm saying? Back, you know what I'm saying? But, this was the route, this and that. So I remember my uncle, my mom's baby brother, he went to Morehouse. He graduated in 88. That was the year I was born. Then he went to law school, whatever, right? And he came to visit me. He like, I want you to come live with us. Him, his wife, and he had 4 girls. And my auntie, she was a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a nice Huxtable family, if you will. You feel me? And I ain't gonna lie, I remember visiting him, and I probably had like 1 more month left. And I told him straight up, I'm like, all right, for sure. I'm gonna come live with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Predominantly Caucasian community, Asians and all of that. Like, it was like picket fence, all that. I'm from the jungles. I'm from an area where they film Training Day. You know what I'm saying? Where King Kong ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? The blood, just the whoopers. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I told him yes, but as soon as he left, I ain't going over there. I ain't gonna lie on. That's what happened. Right? And I'm like, the structure is maybe what I was running from. You feel me? And I'm like, I'm about to get out. I'm about to get back in my Lexus GS 300. You know what I'm saying? No curfew, just doing what I want to do. Because again, Pops is back in the pen at this time. Mom's is doing her thing. I'm just doing my thing. And do you know, when I got out, I was out for 6 days. And I went back for something I didn't even do.
Get out of here, bro.
But the code, hey, we're going to take that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to the halls as a youngster, it's kind of wild. It's like this and that. When you in camp, it's like you got the meals, you know, all the set tripping that you're going to do. You get that out the way, and you got that program time. So it's like, hey, I did it. Come on, right? But I told myself that was the day I woke up. I went to a camp called Camp Houghton. I heard they was shutting the camps down. I love to kind of do a follow-up with these camps because before they was trying to get me to come back in and speak. But I went to Camp Houghton, and I'm like, bing. Matter of fact, before Camp Houghton, I went to the halls, and I woke up. I remember they came and got me and all of this. You're not worried about nothing but just, at the time, I wasn't worried about nothing but just being warm, and I was tired. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So when I finally kind of got my rest and I got booked in and all of this and transported, you know what I'm saying? And I got in there, and I remember I went to sleep, and I woke up because it was cold, and I looked around. I'm like, I'm back. Like, it was that I'm like, I screamed. I remember. I was like, I looked out the little window, and I heard the other juveniles in there. I'm like, ah! I was upset with myself. And I'm like, I made a promise that day. I'm like, I'm going to go do this camp, but I'm never coming back into a cell. And I know you never say never, but to this day, was that like 16, maybe 2005, 2004, I don't know the dates, but it was around that time. I ain't been back in no incarceration situation. I'm proud of myself by that. I'm 35 right now. You know what I'm saying?
Big, bro.
Been around the world, over 17 different countries, went to school. So that was that time where that light came on. I'm like, I'm not no dummy. And I'm not saying the people in there are dummies, but in my mind, I'm like, if I'm getting caught up like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. So I start opening up books. Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, True to the Game, The Coldest Winter Ever. And I remember reading these urban books, and I got tired of seeing the same ending story. You're either dead or in jail. So I want something new. So it was the money book, The Think and Grow Rich. And then I'm like, you know, and it just started, I became an avid reader. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the change moment for me. People think it was Morehouse College. Shout out to Morehouse. They told me how to sharpen it up and put that thing on. But, you know, I feel like sometimes stuff is in you, but different organizations and people in that village bring that thing up out of you. So that's what was my that moment for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all before we got started that this is gonna be one of the Zeke, your storytelling ability, bro. I was there. I was in the room with you when you looked out the window.
Yeah, I was there just now too.
Wow. That was like,
yeah.
So you come home, you say, I'm not going back.
Yeah. That uncle.
I
tapped in with him this time.
Let me just say how I pay attention.
Yeah.
He said the Huxtable family, if you will, the double entendre, the Huxtable at will, like, and it's actually, that was hard. But
Bill Cosby
and on. So now when you come back, you make that decision, I'm tapping in with them.
Yeah. Mandatory. And you know, the decision was like, I have to change my environment. I had read something like, you can't heal, learn, laugh, heal. You can't heal in the same environment that, you know what I'm saying? You got to come out that environment. You can't go back to that environment.
Talk to me.
So I knew like, okay, I'm on this momentum. I got it. I'm on my way. Like what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. But go ahead. What was you going to ask?
In that moment,
yeah,
did you feel like you was doing your people from the people that you kind of, you know, y'all understood the same pain, your hood. Leaving, did you ever feel like you was leaving people behind?
When I did that transition?
When you did that transition?
Yeah, and that was one of the hardest things for me, you know, because I kept finding myself running back. Still to this day, you know, I talk to a therapist. When you talk about healing, I want to talk to the people real quick. When you talk about healing, you know, our community, like we don't talk about therapy and mental health and all that. It's like a stigma. You know what I'm saying? So I remember talking about it being young and people in the church, oh, that's just the devil. Pray that out. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Because I was always I'm going to ask you a question. You can't just tell me whatever, no matter if you old, young, whatever. So I'm like, well, faith without works is dead. Isn't that the scripture? So I can pray. But now I got to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? So we already got a stigma and it's hard. Oh, I don't need no therapy. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until like, you know, we'll get to that. Right. But I got into Morehouse and I seen a brother that looked like me who was a doctor that I could open up to. So my therapist, going back to that, my therapist said, you know, I think I was in Singapore. She said, you got survival guilt. I said, what is that? Survival gift. So I'm looking it up. And it was just basically talking about how, you know, you feel some type of way. You feel guilty by making it out of a tragic or traumatizing situation and leaving somebody behind. So I always been that type of person because my father always was like, you know, when you go to school, that's cool, the degree, get that to your mama, let her put that up. But you go on the network, whoop, make sure you come back and get a game. And I just always kept that in my mind because, you know, I done went to school and worked with the Spike Lees and worked with the Bill Clinton and all of that. And that was everything cool. But my like desire was always to run that thing back. You feel me? So like, you know what I mean? Like.
So one thing I'm going to do on camera is hold Zeke responsible, say him looking at the people of the camp that you want to go back and speak to. Yeah. It was the Juvie Center.
It was the Camp Holton, Camp Mendenhall, like the camp programs.
If this was the purpose of our episode, bro, for you to even express that, because honestly, I went and played ball in the Juvie Center, right? Like I went to church, bumped into a dude that I haven't seen in years. I was at a crazy place in my life praying deep, ended up somewhere in Jersey. And he told me, you want to come play ball? And I actually was the honor to watch. Now look, and I'm not taken away. Anybody in that lane who's taking the time to go do that, service, you're huge.
Yeah.
But there was no Zeke in that room speaking to those kids. Follow what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like your story, who you've become out of that environment, bro, you give me hope that I could do more just by you talking, and I haven't been in your shoes.
Yeah.
So you going back to speaking to those kids, bro, I think is essential for what you've become, for a person that probably don't have your uncle, but saw Zeke. Mm-hmm. Just want to hold you accountable for that.
I'm with that, and I'm with it. And you know, I think timing is everything. You know, people been trying to like tap in, and you know, and I'm, you know, I went to go speak at my middle school, like same middle school that kicked me out. You know what I'm saying? And then brought me back. Like, you know, I knew, and that's one question you asked. You was like, did you know you was gonna be where you are right now? Like, I had a vision. I seen it. They say anything the mind can conceive and then believe can be achieved. You know what I'm saying? So I seen that thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to wake up and say, hey, I'm about to get $1 million today. It's gonna be a achievable kind of goal and vision. And I seen, you know, me talking to the people, but I didn't know why I was going through what I was going through. You know what I'm saying? But I now know, like, hold on. If he want to use you, he got to take you through that storm. You know what I'm saying? He got to put that pressure on you. And you still here, you didn't break, you didn't bend, you didn't fold, and you over there, that pressure created some diamond. And I say only he could do something like that. People be like, how did you do it? I don't know. What I do. It was, you know what I'm saying? For real. So yeah, hold me accountable for that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like my uncle held me accountable. Then when he told me, he said, you need to be full-time student at this community college up the street, Cerritos College, and you need to have a part-time job. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I picked up the love for film up in that, up in that class over there, you know, but I kept sneaking back to the area I was from. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I was taking that red Jeep and I was getting on that freeway in between classes because I had a little shorty doo-wop that I was still in love with. Goo goo gaga. I mean, we keeping it real. We're gonna learn, we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna heal in the living room.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look. When you speak, bro, there's just so many points I want to bring to. Here's what that does for me when I'm hearing you talk. Because if you're listening or you're watching, you know, I hope you're enjoying what you're hearing so far. Because I moved. This is what that's doing for me. Where pops didn't play a role, thank God for that uncle, right? So if right now, even, and I'll say why it's doing for me.
Yeah.
My sister got 2 kids, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an uncle.
Yeah.
And I can see just the difference when my nephew is around.
Yeah.
Bro, like him doing, me coming to him like, yo, bro, you fell off, bro. When you was a kid, you was doing pull-ups all day.
Yeah.
And then me pop in, he like, yo, Theo, watch this. And do 7 clean, bro. Yeah. Like all the way down, all the way up. I'm like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just moments like that. So shout out to the people who remain in the picture.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Because as you say that, so what I was saying is leaving the survivor's guild, you even speaking on the therapist, if y'all paying attention of just the gems of who you become, bro. So when you go to, all right, so picking up the love for film, this was pre-Morehouse or at Morehouse?
Pre-Morehouse.
So when you do that, because now you're around the environment, it's giving you that, did you see life going in that direction only? Theater, film?
Yeah, I actually seen it get picked back up. Because when I was young,
right,
I was in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Years ago, a slave named Goliath escaped from his master and hid himself in the hills called Blue Mountain. You know what I'm saying? I was doing monologues and stuff. And like I said, moms couldn't get to over that hill like that and this and that, so I stopped doing it. You know what I'm saying? I think the acting school shut down, Faith Acting Studios. I was in acting school with Robert Richard. He was on Cousin Skeeter, young brother with the green eyes. You kind of look like him. But you know what I mean? It stopped. And then I got caught in this and that, this and this. And then so like I said, I feel like I picked it back up, but on a different level. Because I do remember being angry sometimes not getting those auditions as a young kid. Like, I would go in the audition room, it was a Juicy Fruit gum, commercial. And they had these kids and all that. And I'm doing a Juicy Fruit Gum commercial and all of that. I think you had to like, it was somebody over there spotting you. You have to lift away. He said, you want this gum? You want and you got to eat it up. So I thought I killed it in the audition room. When I finally seen I didn't get the part and I seen the kid who got it, I'm like, man, I could have did better. But I realized that the boy that was in there, he knew the casting director. His mom knew it. So it was politics. So I remember always saying that I want to be the person that's casting, directing, and producing. And I want to act in it. Kind of do that little Spike Lee thing. So, like, fast forward, now I am. And that was by mistake. I mean, it was God, but I had like 4 classes. I was full-time. And one of the classes, I went to all my classes. And the last one, it was a math class. I'll never forget. And when I went up in there, they talking about some independent study class. I'm like, huh? I thought the teacher, hold on. Oh, independent study, my bad. So I dropped it because no, I need that hands-on. Like, some people you can give a book, go do your thing. Me, I get distracted real quick. You know what I mean? So I want somebody to come in. If I got some questions, I need to talk to you. You feel me? So I remember I had one more class I needed to fill. But by that time, it's first day of class, everything is filled up. So I had it was an accident. It was like film and editing, motion picture class. And it had like the credits. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me take that class. And once I got in there, I remember the professor, Stephen Hirorama, you know what I'm saying? He was from Japan, cool guy, still cool. I ain't talked to him in some years, but I'll be popping up to his class talking to the students. And I remember him taking us on field trips and watching student films. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, you're looking at the USC, UCLA, and I'm in community college. I'm like, these stories are whack. Straight like that. I got a lot of friends from SC, UCLA, and all of that. That's cool. But I'm like, I got better stories. And that's what kind of like did something to me. I said, I want to tell the stories. Yeah.
That's why I started my podcast. Because some of y'all, this was getting me mad, right? When you tell somebody you got a podcast and the first thing they think about is you out here trashing on people. Because the people that are using their words and their message and talking about dating and never dated and you ain't even got the...
Yeah.
So let's get on here and give people access to a Zeke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to talk about that real quick. Just real quick. The podcast and stuff. Like people be asking like, why you ain't got a podcast? Talk to me and all this and all that. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I want to give the people all of that. But I be feeling like sometimes things be kind of getting saturated down. Like it's like, okay, that's cool. Like let your light shine. I'm not talking about nobody. But some people, like if your lane is that, go do that. You know what I'm saying? If your lane, you know what I'm saying? But like nowadays with this social media world, even on Instagram, it's like when they gave us video, remember we only had like 15 seconds. Now we can go live. We can do all that. It's like some people, I'll be on live like, what you talking about? What you doing? What you bored? Like, I feel like a platform is supposed to be used to, you know what I'm saying? Inspire, you know what I'm saying? Learn, you know what I'm saying? Laugh. And heal and all of the above around it. Sure. You feel me? So I just want to make sure, I'm coming when it's the timing is right and all of that. And I'll say this, like, when you start talking that talk sometimes, them haters start coming. And I get it. They say, oh, block them out, stay focused, this and that. But I be, reading and I be looking at some of my favorites like Huey P. Newton, the Black Panther Party. They was just focused doing what they was doing for the people. The federal government, FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. Hopefully I ain't talking too much, but it's in their history books. They called them the greatest threat to the internal security of America. Like, huh? The free children breakfast program, they doing their thing. Black is beautiful. Free Huey. What they do to them. Boom, boom. Political prisoners, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I read that Assata Shakur, that was Tupac's godmother. She's still over in Cuba somewhere. Read her book. You know what I'm saying? She's still on America's Most Wanted. Like, they will shut you down. The King, Dr. King, Malcolm X. So again, when I be like, I'm not about to come up on here and just play. I'm going to give you me. And we going to go within. And sometimes when you go too deep, they don't like that. And they'll try to silence you. I'm not afraid. But I be thinking to myself, like, he's be calling themselves gangsters and this and that and this and this. We can be so quick to ride on each other. but we ain't quick to get on that front line to support our brothers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was looking like, why when they came for them peoples, you know, the people did try to rise up, but that was back in the 70s and early 60s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look right now. You know, people just letting stuff just ride. And I ain't like that. You go on my Instagram and I don't even try to, you know, but, you know, you got the officers messing with you daily and constantly. You know what I'm saying? And you taking up for your friends. Like, I know they don't like that. But at the end of the day, like, you be like, who supporting me? Who got my back? You know? Like, and I'm going to say this last thing. When I was at Morehouse College, we're going to get to all that. But, you know, I was reading some books and I was reading about how, like, Dr. King, you know, he used to go to jail. And Coretta used to send him books to read. He used to knock them out, send them back. Like, you know, like he had a support system. Mm-hmm. You know, you had your boys riding for you. Nowadays, you'll go sit down. I know people talk on Instagram talking about free whoop-de-whoop. Free him, but you ain't went to go put not $1 on his books. Mm-hmm. You ain't went to go visit him. You know what I'm saying? You ain't went to write no letter or send no pictures. You feel me? So I be feeling like, you know, that's a whole nother situation.
Look, and this is why I'm excited to sit with someone like you, because you can feel what you're talking about. Because as we were sitting here, you got a call from jail.
Oh, just now, yeah, my cousin Titus Young, he played for the NFL. Detroit Lions, yeah.
So this is for me, bro, here's what I get from you. Like, the depth of what you've encountered in your life.
Yeah.
And even when you say this, let me just tell you something. Two things come to my mind, because you my man.
Talk to me.
We're going to keep it real.
Talk to me.
Two things came to my mind fast. One, excuse. Two, true perspective at the same time. Mm-hmm. So in your upbringing, you definitely seen a lot of people pass. Mm. Right? Like, I personally, now as I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying? For me to think that my friend died because he was in the street was rare. I didn't really grow up. I'm from the hood, but it ain't the hood. You know what I'm saying? And you seeing that as a theme in your life, I think when you say something like, when people did this and do that, you really saw that coming up. So I can't judge and say excuse, right? It's easy for someone. Here's what I hate.
Yeah, talk about it.
I hate it when the person that's never in the line of fire want to give
so much to say.
So much to say. So much to say. But then I hear you and go, I'm not mad at your come from, but does it serve Zeke more to be quiet? Because there's other ways you express yourself. Mm-hmm. I think your voice is so powerful. Does it serve you more to be quiet and move in silence like you do? Mm. Or let people have the opportunity? I don't know who's going to hear this, but to me, it's going to be who is Zeke. And they can follow my man. Y'all can, all those channels going to be there. It's, how do I get more of him? Do they deserve more of you?
Yeah, like, we all deserve each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a quiet person, first and foremost. You said, do you work better moving in silence quiet? You know that. Like, you know, we didn't took trips. We'll get into all that. We didn't took trips to Jamaica together. We gotta talk to it. We gotta let them know how we met. But You know, I'm far from quiet. I'm trying to work on that though. I'm trying to work on that balance. You know, they say too much of anything ain't good. You know what I'm saying?
So let me reiterate what I mean by silence. Like, you make moves and it's not in the line. Like, I got the call like, yeah, I'm flying in from LA for some business trip, and it's like, yeah, I got a meeting, but yeah, you know, we'll talk about that. Like, yeah, let me tell you what I mean, because I have stories that sit in my mind, right? One thing that you always used to say is that part.
That part.
That part.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hearing in a song say that part, I'm like, yo, that's Zeke in my mind. Like, yo, you've done so much and you're in so much.
Yeah.
All I have to say is, I don't know what your moves are, bro. You wrote a book. You went to Morehouse. Like, and it's not like you posting about it every day.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by silence. Like,
okay,
bro, what are you doing that I'm not hearing you every day? Because this, I think, is a lane where it's like, if Zeke had this to speak to your audience, I think you're one in the few, bro.
Like that.
I think you're one in the few. So if it comes, this is my me giving my man his flowers. First and foremost, thank you for being on here, because if I'm good, I'm wired for the month off of this joint right here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is like, because you work in other ways. Why not have a voice? You don't gotta be much. It could be once a month. It could be
Yeah. Cool. Well, you know, maybe this is the inspiration that I needed. You know what I mean? Timing. Let's get back to that. Timing is everything. And one thing, we was talking about it earlier before we started this, like, you know, like what Nelson Mandela said. Sometimes, you know, he said our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. So I be feeling like it's some truth to that. Like, it be like, oh, is it too much? You know what I'm saying? But then he goes on, and I'm just paraphrasing. He say, like, who are you to dim your light? You know what I'm
don't
saying?
dim that on me, Zeke.
Don't do that like that.
Don't do that.
That's kind of like a form of being disobedient. And he say obedience is better than sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I'll still be working on that. So, yeah. So maybe this is the inspiration. Maybe this is the timing. And, you know, like I said, life been lifing, if you will. Life been lifing. You know, I can remember, you know, me after I finished writing the book. I didn't want to put out no book. I'm going to tell you how that happened. I never talked to nobody about that. Like, I was filming. I was running around like the world. You know, I was going to country, city to city, doing my thing. And I remember people asking like, oh, you're in the military? Like, I'm like, dang, I got to be in the military to be traveling so much. So I started playing with them. I remember being in somewhere in Asia, maybe Malaysia, somewhere at the airport. Somebody say, you in the military? I'm like, yeah. They said, what branch? I said, South Central. And they started laughing. They look at me like, huh? I'm like, yeah, you ain't do no research. We be dealing with PTSD to wait. Huh? These troops be dealing with things in Iraq. We got helicopters and all of that. Like, that ain't normal. But yeah, I'm in that branch. You know what I'm saying? But no, I ain't in the military. I just wanted to travel and see the world. And that's what I wanted to do. You feel me? So I just wanted to film and document it, because without documentation, it's all speculation. You know what I mean? And that's all I wanted to do. So somebody asked me, said, why you don't write a book? I said, because niggas don't read. He looked at me. He said, well, he said, you got a yoga mat in one hand and you got a book in another hand. So I guess niggas do read. And I started laughing. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he just started talking to me. He's like, you know, you write a book that can become a movie, and you can actually have that for the outline for your documentary and all of that. And I'm like, all right, let me get this book down. But I got to focus. I got to get away and just lock in. So that's how that whole book even came about. But I wanted to do the documentary. I want to do a one-man show. You know what I'm saying? So it might be some, I'm just realizing this right now, but it might be some like selfishness in it a little bit. And I don't think nothing is wrong with being selfish. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you got to take care of you in order to even be able to love on the people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father, and if I'm not right mentally and I'm not rested, how I'm going to give my sons some energy and I ain't got nothing? You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to do a one-man show, and I'm still going to do a one-man show from the book, The Travels of a Renaissance Man. You know, tell that story. But I remember working on a one-man show, and then all of a sudden, a yoga teacher training came up. You know what I'm saying? And I found out that a brother at a studio in Rancho Cucamonga, he owned it, and he graduated from Morehouse. I said, I got to take his class. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me put this one-man show on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was going to open it up. I'm going to open it up, you know, Ghana. Welcome to Ghana. We love you. Welcome back home, my brother. I was working on it, and then I seen that on Instagram. I'm like, I got to put this on the shelf. Let me go do this real quick for 2 months, 2.5 months. And I did that, and then working on it, and I'm falling in love with yoga every day, just doing yoga every day like I've been doing. You know, I pull up to New York years ago. Hey, I'm outside. Come on, it's a yoga studio. Talk about that one.
Look, and this is what I mean, a unique being. So Zeke pulls up from LA. You feel me? Yo, I'm in town. One of those moments.
Yeah, when you gonna come to my town?
Ooh,
yeah, we ain't gonna talk about all that right there. Stay focused. Cause I done came out here to New York a couple times. Huh? I think Mac 10 said, when I come to your hood, you watch my back. And when you got eager with, I expect you a sack. Huh? We gonna laugh for this one.
Oh, man.
And keep it real.
Oh, man. If you ain't like, follow, subscribe, you playing. You playing. Look, so Zeke comes in town, and it was one of these. I'm glad you guys are experiencing a moment where it's just how we would talk if the cameras weren't here. You know what I mean? We chopping it up. Zeke actually came to the crib in the Bronx. You feel me? Supposed to crash at the crib. We end up talking all night. I'm like, there's a yoga studio. He's like, there's a 5 o'clock session.
But I asked you, I said, is it a yoga studio? Is it hot yoga? Is it Bikram yoga?
It's Bikram yoga, baby, on 231st. That's a fact. And we had some hot tea. I remember the tea had you up. Bam! He was like, oh, what tea is this? I remember that.
Yeah.
And we went and busted out a 90-minute session.
I still got that picture from that day.
Facts, bro. And look, even that, right? To say, would you ever thought you was gonna be doing yoga? Your life has a repetitive theme. So here's what I did say, and I guess this is how I want to frame that. Like, what gives Zeke life when you've seen so much death?
Just to keep going. You know, my boys, the Baby Stone Gorillas out where I'm from, the area I'm from, you know, they do music and they got this song called Keep Going. And, you know, I got in that music video and I was the pastor and I was the opening scene. I'm like, I love this track because this like the soundtrack of my life. Like, you know, we can't stop. We got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, when you feel like giving up, like, you know, you're dealing with depression. You dealing with not wanting to get out of the bed sometimes.
It's
you know
been
what
like
I'm saying?
That for you, bro? Like,
but there was a point in my life, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, different points. I talk about it in the book. I don't want to give too much. Go get the book. It's called Travels of a Renaissance Man. But I talk about that. I talk about dealing with mental health on a whole. You know, you going to funerals after funerals. You got to stay strong. You're smiling, all that. That stuff get heavy on you sometimes. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? People telling you not to do this. Naysayers. And telling you not to go here. Don't go to this country. You can die. Wait, hold on. First off, where your passport? Oh, you ain't got one? Okay. Well, you know, I can get killed by wearing the wrong color shoelaces in the city that I'm from. So don't tell me not to go to Haiti. Because when I go to Haiti, I mean, what they say, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But when I go over there, you know, they having fun with just kicking a can or a sock. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember I went to Haiti a couple times, but I remember I went to Haiti, came back, and then the earthquake happened some years ago. Went to Haiti, was helping the people clean up, and I'm talking about days after the earthquake, you just see these kids kicking balls and having fun. And I'm like, how do you even keep on going? You know what I'm saying? So the drive, like, that's how I keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, being around, like, the people. You know, I was just on that subway, bro. Everybody got, like, tied up in there. And I'm like, how do they do this every day? But then after a while, I'm like, I'm next to a grandmama right here. I'm next to my partner over here. He like, yo, come on inside, you know? I'm over here next to this dude. He like, oh, it's too high for all. It's like, so I'm just being able to be in the midst of everything, a little kid over there, just and take it in, and that be to keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's like the oxygen.
I love that.
The people.
That's big. You know why? Like, bro, like, for me, I know a lot of people start a podcast and the structure that says you should first have the business plan first. All right. What's the business behind why you start a podcast? How do you make money? And then you trickle down to what your podcast is going to be. And that wasn't it for me, bro. I came in there saying, bro, I want to just speak to my people.
Yeah.
Like, we've come in a world where if I'm not on social media, I'm not going to think about, respectfully, we're not in the same, you know, area anymore. If I'm not seeing you every 4 months, it's like, oh shit, how we get caught up in life. And me saying, if I start a podcast, there's so many people that I know, and there's so many people I forgot that I know.
Yeah.
And I just want to chop it up.
Yeah. In the living room.
In the living room and get perspective on like, bro, that's big. Like, what was the first place you traveled to that you was nervous to go to and went anyway?
I think it probably was like Ghana.
Going to Ghana is different.
Yeah, like.
Well, and to give perspective, what year was this? Like, how old are you when you're doing this? Because
First off, this was the first country. Yeah. This was the first country, and this was that transition of me calling Unc like, "Hey, I'm ready to come stay with you." You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he was on that trip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fresh, juvenile hall. I'm probably like a year, maybe second year. A year and a half in living with him, and I'm getting ready. Matter of fact, I had just got accepted to Morehouse, so I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta. Okay, when I come back from this trip, I'm headed to Atlanta. So that was the setting and the time that this was taking place. So I remember just hearing like, "Oh, you got to take these malaria pills." You know what I'm saying?
Right. Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you where it was like nervous, like, well, I gotta do all this. Then you telling me, oh, you may have nightmares. What? I don't want it. So I think that was, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I'm going to the motherland. Is it gonna be thinky? Like, is it like all the stuff that they were trying to talk about on TV? You know what I'm saying? It was just like the fear of the unknown, if you will. But I promise, and I talk about this in my book. I said, when I got off that plane, I instantly felt the love I was missing for all those years. You know what I'm saying? It was, I heard the drums beating. You know when you get off the airport, LaGuardia over here, or when I got off, it's just dry. It's dry. You trying to get off that plane. You know what I'm saying? But like for real, like I don't get this love at LAX out there on the West. But when I landed in Ghana, I'm talking about you walking on the ground and you got the drummers and doop, 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 doop. Welcome to Ghana. Like, you feel me? You feel love. You feel me? So it was like that fear instantly like changed real quick.
You know, damn. Like, well, this is what I'm hearing in my mind. Yo, Zeke, every time I feel like you get some resistance, your level of connection and exponential growth and abundance of love is unchartable, bro. Right? Like, to go through what you went through, because travel saved the way I look at the world. First, people, gotta have the right people in your corner, give you the good advice, and then being curious to be like, yo, how do people move in Mexico? That was my first trip.
Yeah.
Right? So, how does it... Yo, we're going to Mexico. We went 20 deep to Mexico.
You speak Spanish?
I speak Spanish, baby.
So you was cool.
I was chilling. You chilling in Mexico too.
I talked to a lady that said, ¿Me puedes dar tu número? Tú tienes bonita sonrisa. Sorry for interrupting.
Yo,
I'm in the living room.
Yeah, you in the living. We talking, baby. Today's one of those shows for sure.
For real.
So look, that quote, that famous quote, the world is a book, and those who don't travel only read one page. Speak to what that did for and everything about the way you see the world, bro, because from what you came from, right? When I asked what gives you life, because she's almost deaf, it's like, and feeling that love. Can you give me like the first 24, like maybe the first minute of you feeling that? Like, is it when you say feeling that, that's kind of crazy, bro. Like, what do you mean by that? Like the love that you've always been missing.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, you look at it right now, right? People ain't even talking to people in the streets no more.
Fact, bro.
You know, I know sometimes I may look weird or crazy. I don't even like to use that word, mental health word, crazy, magical, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm weird. I'm different.
I'm not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
How you feel about today's world, bro, when we got to be cautious? Because you didn't mean to say anything in a derogatory tone.
Yeah.
But now it's out of line, right? Because we don't know some people that are going or what they're going through.
Yeah.
But to be so scared, I guess. Not
Yeah.
scared
Yeah.
or concerned of saying the wrong word.
Yeah.
You're definitely doing it in a way that's very respectful.
Yeah.
But this culture of like you not being free to speak on how
Yeah.
you feel or
Yeah, I mean, people be uptight and all that, and every time I'm not gonna catch things, But I will say this: when you conscious of something and you starting to be aware of stuff, it just come out naturally. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on that with myself personally. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody, none of the viewers. You know what I'm saying? I want to change that word. When we talk about crazy, you crazy, like you crazy. Well, no, you magical. You know what I'm saying? You magical. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a mental health. And I thought about it like, somebody can go to the hospital, break a leg. Oh, pray for my son. He broke his leg. Oh, pray for Sister Whoopty Wop. She dealing with cancer. Will you talk to the people that's dealing with mental health? If they on a psychiatric ward because they dealing with depression, whatever it might be, what'd you say? We don't say nothing. Like, and it's like crazy you talking about that person like 5150. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, crazy different, my magical. So sometimes to switch a word, you got to replace it with something. So, I will say, people be uptight about things, but what happened to freedom of speech? Our First Amendment. What I feel about that, I feel like, hold on, you going to give us the freedom of speech or you not? You know what I'm saying? I'm not threatening nobody. I'm not harming them. Like, let me talk. Let everybody do what they do. I think that's what's going on in the world. And I'm gonna get back to hopefully but that's what's going on in the world. It's like everybody worrying about what everybody doing. If you just do what you do, you know what I'm saying? I can't do what you do, Rob. Let me do what I do. When I'm gonna come in the living room with you and I'm gonna politic with you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I can do a podcast and this and that, but this is your time right now, and I want to come into your living room and talk with the people.
Nah, that's big. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. You're a person, bro, that going through story lane, and if you listen to us here, this is what this conversation will go with someone like Zeke. You saying the right to your words or the freedom of speech. There was a time we was in Brooklyn. Okay.
Who?
Us. See, it's
a lot of times.
Here we go. We're going story lane right here.
All right.
And we get East New York and we get pulled over illegally. Oh yeah. So E's driving and E's eyes were red.
We get pulled over?
We get pulled. See, this is I told you I was going to
go. It's so much stuff going on.
I know I got it tough,
I be forgetting
baby.
stuff. But talk to me.
So here's what I'm saying.
This ain't nothing incriminate us though,
no,
right? It's past statute of limitations. Okay,
you already know. So we get pulled over.
You heard?
Okay. And it was done illegally, and they did it abruptly, all right? And I kind of didn't like that, okay?
It triggered you.
It was like, yo, what the fuck? So the dude, they put flashlights on us. Now, mind you, we're in a he's driving my car that day. 6 Series BMW.
Skirt.
You know what I'm saying? White, red interior in East New York. I understand. Tints on it. I'm so used to getting pulled over. Talk about what we go through. I'm so used to getting pulled over, okay? But I've always come from a place of like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Let me just put the keys on top of the car. I'm just trying to get home.
Yeah.
Right? That day, I was a little like, yo, I'm tired of this shit, personally. Kind of got selfish because I thought of me. Dude asked this E, like, yo, why your eyes so red? He goes, I'm allergic to, we was at a restaurant, and you're saying there was a cat in there, I'm allergic to cats. Officer's like, how many cats was in there? I said, like 9, bro. Flashed the light on me, you was like, hey, you don't remember this, but this was big for me. You're like, hey, easy. Just because the way I said it, right?
Wait, so
You told me. This is why this is big for me when I see the way you address and use your freedom of speech.
With the police and all that.
With the police and all that. Because in that moment, you told me, hey, easy. Feel me?
Yeah. Just
Take it easy. Let that go.
Yeah.
We ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah. Because I be feeling like they be looking for that. You know what I'm saying? They be looking for that. Like, you got to understand, officers are just regular individuals, just like us. You feel me? They may be having a little bad day. That don't mean it's right for them to take it out on whatever. You know what I'm saying? They probably didn't get the little nook back home. They didn't get no little poo nanny that day. I don't know. I mean, I could talk about that in the kids. Hey, okay, kuda matata. You know what I'm saying? So they might be having a tough day. Didn't do no yoga. So they be looking. You know when people just be having a bad day and they just looking for the drama? And sometimes you got to skirt. Get up out of here. I can't even give you that. I just had a phone call. We ain't gonna say no names. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had the bye-bye, click. I love you. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like they was looking for that.
And not to say when we take off, you're like, hey, today we ain't have to do all that. You feel me? You might have had a little something on there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Made sense. I'm like, damn, I ain't think about myself. I only thought about myself. I ain't like the way he did that dumb shit. We good people.
Yeah.
To then also see you address officers. So here's my question, Zeke. I get pulled over. I think God, I've never been in a situation where a cop has, at least when I'm driving, crossed the line. Fear of my life, none to that degree. But then I watch your films, all right, and how you address these people, and two things happen to me. I'm like, yo, he's in the right, but also the courage, or is there any like moments where you're like, yo, I could be harmed because of my freedom of speech?
Every time. Like when that moment, I think I just got like a little numb to it, or just like a little closer to like that reality, like, you know, because I'm already in my mind, like, I ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I do something wrong, then, you know, deal with me. You know what they say. If you do something, then you better be able to do the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the triggers when you trying to do the right thing. Shout out to Spike Lee, do the right thing. When you trying to do the right thing and you effing with me. You feel me? So even in those moments where you may see me like being calm, I'm being bold. Like, hold on. You feel me? So do it cross my mind? Yes, that's the first thing that crossed my mind. Like, absolutely. Like, you know, but I'm not afraid of that. Like, if it's your will, let it be done. Like, that's one thing. People be talking all this scripture stuff and all of that, but dude, they don't be moving like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if it's your will, let it be done. Whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? But I got faith as small as a mustard seed that I'm going to be all right. We going to be all right. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
And sometimes I'm starting to learn, like, they probably going through something, like I said. Like this last incident, I'm in the car. We're not doing nothing.
Right.
And you coming to me flashing lights. Why are you flashing lights? Because I can't see. Well, you can see. I ain't got no tent. You lying. Mm-hmm. But come to the other side. What's up? What's in your bag? What'd you say? What's in your... Whatever I want in my bag. Oh, yeah, that's right. Like, you know, so I feel like this is my platform right now to show the youth and whoever else, I know you mad and I know you angry, but this thing been going on for over 400 years since they brought us over here in shackles. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's right, but deal with this properly so you can make it home to talk about it and then upload it. You know what I'm saying? And so you can give them some, because every time I be thinking about, I'm like, I'm going to check you so that the next person, you be a little skeptical. Because for you to come up to my door, clearly you ain't ran across me yet. It was one video when my partner was on the right, no names, like, you know, and they like, oh, where your other car on seat? I said, huh? That ain't none of his business. Psh, have a good day. Like, who you talking to? So clearly the individuals around, we not understanding that, hey, y'all working for us. Y'all here to protect and serve us. It's not the other way around. You getting paid because of our tax dollars. You feel me? So the last part, when you control a man's thinking, you don't have to control their actions. Carter G. Woodson said that in a book called The Miseducation of the Negro. You understand what I'm saying? When you control a man's thinking, you don't have to control a man's action. You could tell a person, oh, go do this, go do that, go down to yonder. But if his mind is already programmed, he gonna do what he's programmed to do. So sometimes you gotta show a person, hey, this is how you handle that.
Bro, look, as you say that, this would have come to my mind. Then I've also seen you in the same respect, because this is why people like you, bro, I'm just grateful to know people like you. Because then the world we live today, you a man that loves the camera, first and foremost. The illest I seen first. My shout out to my man Wally, Narrative 444.
Hey.
Sitting in the building, we ain't gonna hurt nobody
Shout
anymore,
out.
because that boy nasty.
Hello.
Seen the first guy that could hold the camera crazy, and I say that to say the world we live in today, where there's some people about to get out, they about to get at it, is, oh, I can't wait to record.
Yeah.
For some view and some likes. And you, in your walk of the day, you see I think they were both Caucasian men.
I forgot about that.
Come on, baby, I'm paying attention to you.
Dang.
It's two white men. This is a black man from South Central LA. Sees two white men getting at it, and walks up to them. Hey, young man, listen, you ain't gotta take care of it that way. Cool, but you ain't gotta do that.
Yeah. And all I said was, hey. I said, namaste.
Namaste.
I ain't really say too much.
Right.
And he kind of looked, and I'm like, hey, you doing a good job. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Literally, bro, no, it was more than that. I remember because you did say that.
Yeah.
But you really won. And what I say this is, you got involved. Bro.
Yeah.
You got your hand in between them. Yeah, hold on. Let me talk to you real quick. Calm down.
He still was going,
He's
like, you going to be a bigger man. I remember
man.
that.
You don't got to do that. I see you getting up, be a bigger man. And that's what we missing today.
Yeah.
Men like you that are get in the middle. It don't gotta be the color.
Yeah.
It's the principle.
Yeah.
Move people around and stop them from what they about to do, and then namaste and leave.
Yeah. Namaste and leave. Yeah.
So is that the yogi in you? Is that the man that still believes in?
It just be a float. Like, I promise you, like, none of this stuff be planned. It just be like, go with it. You know what I'm saying? And I seen something. And yes, it's easy to, hey, ooh, he said that. Ooh, I want to see if World Star. Like, you know, shout out World Star and all that. I'm not knocking nobody. But at the end of the day, that's easy. Can you stop that? I ain't had to touch these people. They could have still kept going. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't for no visual or none, because, you know, you're going to get the views for the fights and all of that. You know, I used to say, like, when a person doing something good, there ain't no, you know, sensational value there. But as soon as the person, he getting stomped out or whatever, now we want to share and share. Like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And I was just leaving my therapist's office that day. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, I just left therapy session, came down to my car, and I seen that, and I came to film, and it was just like, hey, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But this is crazy. And the flip side, you see, I did it in that community. Mm. I can go in my community or African American community, and you try and break up a flight. That's looked at as buster shit, yeedness. Like, that's a bad thing.
Really?
What? It's happened before.
What? Like, if you trying to bring peace, it's look.
Hey, look, man. That's why it's like, it be confusing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's why we gotta watch what we tell the youth and the people, and we got to really know what it is that we want. We got to sit down and say, what do we want? Because we can say, I want you to elevate. Then as soon as a nigga elevate, it's like, don't do that. Come back. What do you want from me? Like Tyrese said. Shout out to Tyrese. I read his book on the plane one time and said, how to get out your own way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? You say elevate, go do this, go do that. Then you come back and now y'all scared. Y'all don't want to get no passports and you don't want to leave. Stop talking about what you want to do. Stop posting it. How about go do it? You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch it. It's like, you know, you can do it over here, but then you do it over here. It's looked at as bad. It's like, so that's why you just got to come up with this whole thing, because it's a quote. And it's one of my favorites. It says, do what you feel in your heart to be right, because you'll be criticized for it anyways. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, take a break.
They're taking a break. So it's not a break because we lost the rest of the footage. So I want you to, you know, first and foremost, thank you for getting to the end of the episode. We have an amazing story that he's going to tell you, but it's only on audio. So if you're on YouTube, you could just shoot over to Apple or Spotify. The links are in the details below. And thank you so much for getting this far. I appreciate you.